sale.com.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
Squeaky Deaky, I love my squeaky toy. Squeaky Deaky, it makes me jump for joy. Squeaky Deaky, roll it on the ground. Squeaky Deaky, I love that squeaky sound.
Reminds me of when we used to do children's radio.
Yeah.
Right?
It does, very much so.
Squeaky Deaky,
Got a nice voice.
always makes me
Is that
laugh.
Skip Haynes singing?
I think so.
Squeaky Deaky.
Skip Haynes is on the phone. He's a songwriter, and that is one of his songs. It's from an album, I think, called Songs to Make Dogs Happy, the only musical album for dogs ever approved by dogs. It says here Skip has a lot of credentials to his name. He was the lead vocalist for Aliata Hayes Jeremiah, was the assistant art director for the Grammys for 8 years. He's a record producer, a co-founder of CLAW, which is an acronym for Citizens for Los Angeles Wildlife. Wow, is he out in L.A.? He got up early to be with us, huh?
Yeah.
The Communications, Relations, and Spotlight Projects Director for the Kirkwood Bowl Foundation. It just goes on and on and on. And also the co-founder of the Laurel Canyon Animal Company. Songs to Make Dogs Happy. Skip Haynes. Good morning, Skip. How are you?
Fine, Larry. How are you?
Good. That was a fun song. Is that part of a whole album?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
How many dogs do you have?
Right now, well, I did have two until a week and a half ago. Now I have one.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah, she was 16 and a half. We had her for a long time. We do a lot of rescue dogs. They just kind of show up at the house for some reason.
Do you know? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just that, kind of a magnet for dogs. My neighborhood, I live in Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles, and it's full of dogs.
I used to leave the radio on. My dog also died about a year and a half ago now, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I used to leave the radio on at home because I'd be on the radio, see? And that way I could talk to my dog.
Well, it's true. You know, we get, our company just started because my partner and I, who's basically a hit songwriter and a producer, and we both, about in 1999, we were both sitting around. Laurel Canyon has a country store. It's the most expensive country store in the world, but it's literally a country store.
Uh-huh.
And everybody hangs out there, and everybody's dogs hang out there. And
that sounds fun.
It is. It's and they have great coffee. And in 1999, my partner and I were sitting at a table at the country store going, wow, the music industry was tanking. All the record stores were closing, and, everything was switching over to online. And we were just thinking, what can we do in music that would be fun and be a little different? And while we were sitting there, one of the local dogs, I'll never forget it, one of the local dogs came up, looked us right in the eye, lifted his leg, and peed on our table leg.
Oh.
And both of us went, music for dog lovers.
That's what, I love that.
So that's how it started, and our first album was called Ugly Dogs Need More Love, and we just did it as kind of a goof, but it kind of did well. We just put it in the country store. So we thought it would be fun, so we did another one called Catatonic, and then they actually started selling, so we signed a deal with an independent distributor, and to make a long story short,
you never saw this coming, did you? Yeah. If you had a psychic 10 years ago tell you would be doing this, I need my money back. There's no way this is going to be my
yeah. It was something we just kind of fell into it, and we signed a parrot to our label just because we thought it would be a lot of fun to find a parrot with a snappy phrase, record a song around it, and register it with ASCAP. As the first parrot ever registered as a composer and a performer. So we did. We found this parrot, Carla, who was actually a therapy parrot, and her signature phrase was, "I'm a green chicken." And we said, that's it. So we did a song called you can hear all these on our website.
Oh, that's fun.
We did a song called "I'm a Green Chicken," and our publishing administrators, one of our publishing administrators is on the board of ASCAP, so they actually had a meeting in New York about this parrot. about see if they could put her on ASCAP, and in the end, we couldn't register her because she doesn't have a Social Security number.
Oh.
And we were thinking about going there, but we said, nah, we better not do that.
It's hard to send royalties to a parrot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, crackers. They'd send crackers, not money.
She liked peanut butter and cigars. She liked to eat cigars.
Oh.
It was weird. I don't know how she got that taste. We didn't
It's just
feed
a
her
leaf.
cigars.
It's just a leaf to them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You said ugly dogs need more love. I had this thought just the other day. Ugly dogs don't know they're ugly.
No, well, that song was actually written about when you go to the pound. You know, the cute ones get adopted immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Ugly dogs don't. So we say, always when you go to the pound, take the ugliest dog in the pound, because no dog is ugly. You know?
That's funny.
So we had, we did the parrot. That was really a lot of fun. Then to make a really long story short, the next album we did was with Coco, the gorilla who understands English.
Right.
Saying,
yeah.
Because my partner went to high school with Dr. Francine Patterson, who has the Gorilla Foundation. So we did a whole album with Coco, and we thought, geez, this was really fun, because she actually vetted lyrics, because she understands English. So we had to change some lyrics on the song because she didn't like it.
Oh. No, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, seriously.
Can you give me an example of something she didn't like?
Yeah, and Coco calls herself, the album's called Fine Animal Gorilla, because that's what Coco calls herself.
Okay.
And so we did a song called I Am Fine Animal Gorilla. And in the song, there's a tagline at the end that's at one of the choruses that says, "Do you think I'd lie?" And when Coco heard that, she wanted it out of the song because she did not want to be seen as a liar.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of funny because she's the original They Did It. I mean, she tells fibs, shall we say, all the time. So we thought that was hysterical, but we got to take that out. They did
my
it,
God.
So after we did Coco, we said, wow, this is really cool, because it was kind of like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Right.
You were actually communicating with another species using music and a computer, So we said, we'd like to do this some more. So we have to find a Dr. Doolittle. So we looked, because we weren't into psychics or animal communicators at all. But for 6 months, we looked for one. We finally found one in Chicago, which is my hometown. And we called her and said, do you think you could act as a translator for us? We want to see if we can get animals involved in music. And she said, sure, but I want to do dogs. We went, great, because that was not our original plan. But she said, great. And she was also a doctor of public health. So she said, I want to do it qualitatively and quantitatively, which at that time had no idea what that meant.
I still
now
don't.
I don't either. I don't get it either.
Well, it's where you actually do testing, and it's done sort of it's a sort of a scientific way. And we said, great. She said, yeah, I want to test at least 200 dogs before I'll let you put the album out. We went, great. So we sent her. At that time, it was CDs. It wasn't MP3 so much. We sent her CDs with different kinds of music, different genres of music on it. And she did a lot of work, a lot of pro bono work in shelters. And so she would go to shelters, and she would play the music for the dogs. And then she'd report back to us what they liked and what they didn't like. And based on what she told us that the dogs preferred, and this is also for lyric content, we created songs to make dogs happy, and it was created specifically for dogs.
All right, so now I have a question about this, because lyrical content was what you just stated.
Yeah.
What about the dogs that live in the Spanish households? Do they respond to the English words the same? Or?
Well, we have a Spanish version of Squeaky.
Oh, that's too funny.
Squeaky Juguete.
Well, you think that the dogs would respond to the theme of the music, though, and not particularly the lyrics?
Well, if you have to think about it, your dog perfectly understands you. When you say sit, here, come, roll, whatever you say.
They know.
They they understand. And basically, when dogs, when we first started, I was really pumped, because I'm basically a songwriter. That's where I make most of my money. And I wrote 4 songs in like 3 days, which is a lot of songs for me to write. I was really pumped on it because I'm such a dog lover. So I sent them to our communicator, and she went, and she was also a jazz musician, so she understood music, and she said, "Well, these are cool songs, but dogs won't get it. They won't understand what you're talking about." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, the lyric content is really." I said, "So you mean I should make lyrics something like 'You're a good dog'?" And
How
she went,
did
"Yeah."
you buy into that, though? I mean, weren't you skeptical that maybe she was just telling you her opinion and not the dog's?
Not really. You know, you have to. When we started doing this, my opinion of psychics was 0.
Right.
You know, cold reading and 976 numbers and all that. Right. But when you started working with animal communicators, and we had to look very stringently for communicators. When we heard it, we went, okay, you have to kind of put it in neutral and just roll with the changes and see what happens. And, you know, so one of the other songs on the album, dogs react instantly to Squeaky Deaky. But there's another song where the entire lyric is "You're a good dog."
You're a good dog.
Dogs like to hear that.
I'm sure they do. Okay, so let me tell you an old story I remember from David Letterman. He told this story years ago that he was with his dog and he was flipping through the channels on TV and he said, "What do you want to watch?" And, you know, he'd tell this title and that title. He said, "How about Lucille Ball?" And the dog went nuts. And so he figured, "Oh, my gosh, you love Lucille Ball." So he put "I Love Lucy" on. And then after a while, he realized the dog was responding to the word ball.
Yeah. No, it's exactly true. And that's what we did with the music. You know, if you're doing a country song, you use country instrumentation. And you use country format for the songs, pretty much. Same with the blues or heavy metal. So what we tried to do was incorporate everything we could into the music based on what we know the dogs like. You know, for example, with our communicator, one of the things we did, she told us, don't use side stick or rim shots on the drums when you're doing your rhythm tracks. Dogs that come from bad neighborhoods equate it with gunshots, and it will frighten them.
Oh, wow.
So and yeah, you know, and it's like a thing where, I could have had a V8. It was really simple.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When they tell you, but if you don't think about it, it's like, who would have even thought of that? Because whoever did music for dogs, I mean, to us, it was just kind of, you know, trying to reach for a higher branch or something, as it were, musically, because it allowed us to do music, any kind of music we wanted, and you know, as long as it was about dogs, it was cool. We even did a polka on this album, which we never would have been able to do.
Which one?
Nice.
Which one is the polka? I'm looking at all the titles right now.
I think it's Please Let Me Know. I'm trying.
Please let me know. Okay.
Yeah. And you know, we had a chance to do it. So when we did this, based on what our communicator said, we created these songs. I'm sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Did you find, though, that dogs that were brought up in loving households reacted differently to the songs than the dogs were in the Humane Society or in recovery in a doctor's office?
No. It's kind of across the board.
Oh.
It's kind of across. It didn't have anything to do with breed. It didn't have anything to do, you know,
with being home or homeless or anything.
Yeah,
like
because they use our music in shelters. And you know, dogs in shelters respond to it. So
wow.
it was very general and across the board. So we put this thing out. We had no idea of what we're doing, and then we started to get all these emails and responses because you know, people were telling us it helps with when it thunders out. It helps when I'm driving in the car.
Oh,
with
really?
My dog. Yeah.
Oh,
we
wow.
had no idea. You know, and then even vets started writing us and telling us that, you know, it's helping dogs in recovery.
Oh, my gosh.
We couldn't believe it.
I can just imagine this playing at the vet's store. I'm looking at the iTunes page, and it has some of the quotes from some of the people who've purchased it. One of them says, "I was skeptical of it at first, but my dog really enjoys Squeaky Deaky the most. Not a waste at all. I rate it a great buy. The proof is in the preview." Some really nice comments. You got a lot of 5-star reviews on here.
Yeah, it just really works. And I tell people, hey, if you want to check it out, you know, don't shoot the messenger. Just go to our website and play the sound sample of Squeaky Deaky for your dog. Yeah. And practically speaking, I would say very conservatively, 50% of the dogs that hear it react to it in a really good way. And that's just overt.
All right.
They react to the other songs when you play them. And one of the things we tell people to do is, like, get the album. It's only 42 minutes long. Play it, for 2 weeks. Play it once a day for your dog, but stay in the room, or play it if your dog has travel anxiety. Get in the car with them and play the song in the car, play the album in the car, and do it for 2 weeks. Because
too funny.
Because they'll learn to associate that music, which is designed specifically for dogs, with you and quality time. So when you leave, you can play that music for them much the same way.
Let me Skip, let me take a break, and then when we come back, if you're listening and you have your dog with you, bring your dog to the radio, because when we come back, I'm going to come back with the song that Skip sent us, which is the Squeaky Deaky song. Right? Squeaky Deaky, am I saying it right?
That's it.
And then see, and then call me and let me know if your dog responds to it. So we'll come back with Skip in just a little bit. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. So this Monday, partly sunny. There can be a shower in spots, especially during the afternoon hours. The high 79 on the coast, 84 inland. Partly cloudy and mild Monday night. Watch out for some fog late at night and into Tuesday morning. The overnight, though, 62 to 66. Later Tuesday, partly sunny and warm with a shower in spots near the coast. The high 80 at the coast, 86 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Physical activity contributes to a child's happiness and does, in fact, promote learning. Every year, dentists save thousands of lives in North America by spotting growths and abnormalities in our mouth that end up being cancer many times. Also at the hotel, use the clips on the pants hangers in your closet to clip your curtains together so no light comes through.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 22 minutes after. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get the song playing at the same time. I wanted to come back with the song, but for some reason the computer just stopped. I'll get it up and running. Call me if the dog responds to this. I would love to know. Skip Haynes is on the phone. He's written his album that's getting rave reviews. Songs to Make Dogs Happy. He said it's 42 minutes long. It's the only musical album for dogs ever approved by dogs. And if you heard the first part of the interview, then you know how it was approved. And I find that whole thing fascinating. Can I tell you a story? I hope you don't dislike me because of what I'm about to tell you. But when my dog was a puppy, and she would go on the floor, I would say, "You stupid dog! You stupid dog! Why'd you poop on the floor? You stupid dog!" So my dog learned to hate the phrase "stupid dog." Okay?
Yeah.
So I wrote a song called "Stupid Dog," and when the dog heard the song "Stupid Dog," it was like she was oblivious to it.
Yeah.
So I said, dogs can't hear melodies, but they can hear spoken words.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was funny. Were you able to use notes that were out of our hearing range? Are there notes in these songs that they can hear that we can't hear?
Nope, we tried that.
And what happens?
It didn't work because you would have to isolate the sound so much and make it so loud to be able to hear it. It just didn't work in a song for humans. It was just, we tried lots of things like that, but it didn't work. As a matter of fact, we've been working for the last 10 years on an album for cats because it's much more difficult to find things that cats respond to. When we had it, when our communicator, we asked her to start checking out cats, she came back with, "Well, I've got good news for you and bad news." I said, "Okay, what's the good news?" She said, "Well, cats like music more than dogs." I said, "Great." She said, "Well, the bad news is they don't like to talk about it."
Well, I had a cat, and Robin and I, we both play music, so we would sit at the kitchen table, and the cat would always come up and sit between the two of us just to listen to the music all the time. Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah.
Well, there was a cat that we signed to our label called, I don't know if you remember her, Nora the piano cat.
No.
She was the first, one of the first big YouTube phenomenons. It was a cat that played the piano, and we actually signed her. So she actually liked doing that. I don't know why. We just found something that we think about 3 weeks ago. Just inadvertently, I found something that cats respond to. So we're working on a song right now for cats.
I mean, did the cat like cock his head one way or the other? And
something on that order, I can't tell you. It's like a state secret.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so hard to find these things. Yes, but it's something that cats respond to.
Oh, wow.
And with songs to make dogs happy, we were totally shocked. We didn't realize, what we were doing, but all the things made sense. One of the things was dogs like happy. They don't like sad. In fact, if you fight in front of your dog, they can become physically ill because they really don't like it. The word no is not in our album. You say the word no to a dog, they shut down.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I can see that.
These are all things that we had no idea, but they made total sense.
By the way, it was something my dog used to respond to, and I couldn't figure it out. My David Letterman story is sort of my own story, but this was Jessica Lange. I couldn't figure out why my dog liked the name Jessica Lange, but she did. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is say Jessica Lange, and she'd go crazy. It was like, oh my gosh! It's like for some reason she liked that name. I don't know why.
Well, you can't tell. Maybe she actually was a Jessica Lange fan. Who knows?
Who knows?
Had a crush on King Kong.
King Kong, yeah.
Yeah, really. So, to us it started out as kind of a goof, but it turned into something else where we, actually started testing things out. And one of the funny things was the last she kind of put focus groups together, I guess you could call it, of dogs. And our communicator was in Chicago. And so we brought her out here to Los Angeles for the last focus group, the final test, when we had the album done.
Right.
And there were like 13 dogs in the test. We did it at a shelter after I realized I didn't want to put 10 dogs in my living room.
Oh, right.
The insurance, the dogs. So we went to a shelter and did it. And, basically our communicator was there. I play shots of the song. And then she'd walk around. Each dog had a handler and a clipboard, and she'd say what the dog thought of it, and they would write it down, being qualitative and quantitative.
One sound that I know dogs seem to like is the sound of puppies, because we had a puppy sound effect, and there was more than one dog that responded to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dogs. I'll tell you something in a second about that. It's true. So we did this focus group, and remember, my partner and I wrote the songs, produced them, sang them, and the one comment I remember from one dog was, "I've heard better." And it's like, what?
Heard better. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
where's what's the recommended website?
The recommended website is LaurelCanyonAnimalCompany.com or petcds.com, PETCDS. And people can go there and they can check out, we have 9 albums. I can't even remember, 10 albums.
Wow.
We did a project they can check out. We just did a project of the war dog, a decommissioned military war dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's all on the website. And, there's music for cat lovers, and you can check out our parrot Carla singing "I'm a Green Chicken," which is still one of my favorite songs.
The website again, LaurelCanyonAnimalCompany.com. Skip Haynes,
correct.
Thank you so much for being on. This fun. I'm going to end with the song again, Squeaky Deaky. If you brought your dogs to the radio, I didn't want to tell you I was going to do it and not do it, but the computer messed up earlier, so you'll have to do it. You'll call me later and tell me if your dog responded to it. Skip, thank you for being on the air with us today. That was fun.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. I'll have to do it again. I'll let you know when we have our cat song ready.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Okay.
All right, we will be right back.
I love that squeaky sound. Oh, 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 oh.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. So this Monday, partly sunny. There can be a shower in spots, especially during the afternoon hours. The high 79 on the coast, 84 inland. Partly cloudy and mild Monday night. Watch out for some fog late at night and into Tuesday morning. The overnight, though, 62 to 66. Later Tuesday, partly sunny and warm with a shower in spots near the coast. The high 80 at the coast, 86 inland.